Hi, it's Mike messing with more music. I've been trying to improve the rhythm when I'm playing the guitar. I've been worried so much about the chords and picking, hadn't really paid enough attention to keeping the beat. And so, of course, I've got the standard metronome approach, and things that are boring don't usually get a lot of use in my world. So I just couldn't get myself using the metronome, click, 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 or dit, 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 whatever, even the blinking light. Just playing along with it was not working for me. So is there something I can get that's not terribly expensive, and I don't want to invest in hundreds of dollars for a drum machine? And looking around, I saw good reviews on the Korg Rhythm Mini. Japanese company, Korg, making a really, really interesting device. It is very powerful for the money and for the size of it and so forth. Going through the features real quick, and you'll find this all over the internet, so I'm not going to repeat things you can find everywhere. But you've got 9 different genres, from 8-beat, 16-beat, R&B, dance, Latin, 9 of those, with 6 patterns on each one of those. And plus you've got fills, 2 fills for each of those as well. So when you put that all together, you got 60 different patterns that are built into the machine. So that's not enough. You've got a user setting where you can take any of these patterns from the other places and easily transfer them into the user setting, so you can easily pick them all at once without having to change and work your way around the dial. So that in itself would be enough, but it also is completely programmable. This keypad can act as a pad, and there's 16 different sounds that you can play, from cymbals to tom-tom and all that. And in addition, you can turn on velocity. So all these incredible features, so that you can actually have you could really create a drum beat that you really want for your music. I'm using it on a much more simple basis, but all these features are incredible. So I obviously I got the unit, opened it up, looked inside, lots of information in there. The incredible detailed set of instructions in 4 different languages, all blended together in a way which makes it and tiny little print. It is a lot of fun to try and get through. So of course I put this aside and just tried to figure it out myself, like many of us do. I went online, found some videos. One of the best videos I found was from a fellow named MrChopemup. I'll put his age, I'll promote him right there. MrChopemup is good. He's figured out how to use this machine. He's not the most patient teacher in the world. He goes through it and he shows you how to do it. And you can watch it as many times as you want. It's the beauty of a video, right? So, he really showed me how to get the basic use of this machine very quickly. He gets a lot of negative comments, which I thought was interesting because, obviously he's showing people a lot of complex stuff. And so his funniest comment on his site is, read the effing manual. Because a lot of the things that people are complaining about, if they just read the manual, they'd get it. Well, reading the manual is not easy. Again, 4 different languages all mixed together, small print. So I went online and found the PDF for this very easily, right on the Korg site. I downloaded the PDF and I printed it in a format which was a little bigger to read. And in addition, I took all of the areas that were English and I highlighted the heads of those so that they stood out. And then I realized that the last 2 pages were completely in other languages. I got rid of those. So I ended up with just these 4 pages, and each of these pages has 2 sections on it, 2 pages. So it's really 7 pages of detail, but a lot better than 13, which is where it started off with. And it actually helps me to find what I'm looking for. The table of the pattern of the patterns, and the different sounds for the drum pads, instructions on how to make things work. But watch MrChopemup, he'll show you. In many cases, he has to hit the button twice. He's doing things that aren't exactly listed in the manual. So it's not an easy machine to program, but it has incredible capacity to be programmed. So one of the first things I wanted to do was I wanted to make it easy to access so that I could set up a user string and I could move through it one at a time as I wanted to, pause if I wanted to, start again. And to do that, I needed the pedals. There are two pedal settings on here. The pedal inputs are intended to go with Korg pedals, which are listed here. I'll show you a picture of a Korg pedal that I ordered one to try it. At the same time, I said, I think I really need two pedals. These pedals are $33 a piece. Do I really want to spend $66 on pedals for a $56 drum machine? I wasn't sure. So I ended up trying this. I said, this is probably not going to work, but I bought this Ampero HOTONE Ampero momentary foot switch. And it's got two switches. And so that gives you a stereo output to drive the two switches, which I put it into a splitter that goes to two mono outputs on 1/4 inch, with the thought that maybe that would work. When I turn it on, I'll turn the volume up so we can hear what we're doing. And what you see is the lit pattern on this plate is what's going to start with. So when I hit, now I haven't figured out how to, I would love to be able to hit the other one and have it move to the next, but all I've been able to do is hit the other one and go from the patterns to the chain. But I can go from the patterns to the chain, back to the patterns, and it does it on the beat, right? So it does it on the beat. Now, if I throw in if I was to throw in a fill, the fill holds until it's ready to change to the next beat. So it works very well that way. I find myself going back and forth between chain and patterns. I set up chains that I want to use to go along with the patterns, and then if I'm going to have a complete change, then I can change the pattern that as my base. So it gives you the idea. The Ampero switch works. Now the sound we hear coming out of this thing, it isn't much. I mean, it's not intended to be. It's intended to be for a practice unit that you can have sitting next to you. Let's put it this way, if I can figure out how to turn it off. It sounds better than this, okay? It sounds better than the metronome. So what if I try my 5-watt Roland and we see what that sounds like? And we just take a 1/8 inch mini out, and we go into the audio on this, turn this on, and of course you're going to get better sound on the audio right there. It sounds a lot more drum-like, right? So depending on what speaker you put it into, I could put it into my Fender amp, I could put it into my Positive Grid, and it's going to get the richness of whatever I put it into. So it's not limited. So this is me learning how to play better guitar with a drum machine. And I want to make this really quick, really short, so I just highlighted the KR Mini and the Ampero HOTONE momentary foot switch, and how they go together, and it works. My tips on the manual is up to you, but really highlighting your own language. If you're in any of these 4 languages, just highlight your own language, separate that from the pack, and make it a simpler catalog to look through, because there's lots of information in there. And then watch MrChopemup, because MrChopemup really shows you exactly how to do it at full speed. So be ready to watch it over and over a few times. So this is Mike, messing with music. Till next time.